All right, now, you know, in education, what gets you started is motivation, and what keeps you going is habit. Twin brothers Matthew and Matthias Busoye have achieved a unique academic feat at the University of Ibadan, UI, graduating with first-class honors and by an identical cumulative grade point average CGPA of 3.94 out of 4 from the Department of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. Their exemplary performance started from day one at 100 level. They had been running neck and neck even as the twosome led the pack to the finish line. In life, that's more like saying two hearts beating as one. So congratulations, Matthew and Matthias. Mayor, this is heartwarming.
Yes, it's heartwarming. And you see, we live in a spiritual world where the spiritual controls the physical. And when you see, that is why when you see some identical twins, it will look like it's psychic, because when one is somewhere and the other is another place, sometimes they do the same thing about the same time. They think alike. That is why some identical twins prefer to marry and also identical twins, or sometimes in some rare cases, we've seen identical twins married to the same man, because they see themselves as one. They see themselves, they can see that
there's a connection.
That connection. That, yes, they may be two different people, but they are really one. And that is the case, that is what is happening in this case. Because if you notice, it is unusual for two students in the same department to perform the same way, right from the 100 level. You know, it's because there's a bond, there's a spiritual bond between them. That is why they are that close in everything they do. So I want to congratulate them, because when you have that cumulative average in a serious course like electronics engineering, it deserves a lot of commendation.
While electronic and electrical engineering is a tall one. Those of us, me and mathematics, will not be friends. So if somebody achieves this, it's kudos.
It is real. It's real achievement. Though I'm also sure that electrical and electrical engineering would be mass communication will be very tough for them. So I think the story of the two boys is an inspiration. Because they lost their father when they were 12 years ago, when they were in GSS 3. So the mother has 4 children, and the mother was left to raise them as a single mother. And when their father died 12 years ago, an uncle came and said, look, I want to take care of these 2 children. But the mother said no, that even they were left with Gary as the only staple food available for them, they were ready to live by it. And then that she was ready to do everything possible and to ensure that she gave education to these 2 boys. And as at that time, the 2 seniors were in university already. They were in GSS 3. So they passed through very difficult moments, you know, starvation, hunger, but the mother, single mother, endured, gave everything, borrowed money and everything, and gave them education. So I think the 2 boys paid back their mother in a very honorable manner to show that, look, your labor is not in vain, and that we are proud of you. And I think it's an inspiration to a lot of us that even when you are an orphan, that does not limit your potential. Or let's say you have just, maybe your mother is not there, or your father is not there, that with determination, you know, you can overcome a lot of obstacles. It's not an excuse to say that, oh, I've lost my father, then I cannot. In fact, most of the professors you have today are children of hunters. Some are children of bricklayers, you know. So I'm really inspired by the story of the mother. So
it is true to say that motivation will keep you, get you started.
To overcome all your
habit will make you.
And I think why in school, you know, that Yoruba will say that, So I remember
the child of
the person you are. So I think they gave everything, left their social life dry, and gave everything to education.
Yeah.
And we can see the result now. So I think it's a lot of inspiration for millions of, it should be a kind of inspiration for millions of students. And I think this is not just the beginning. I believe they will still go higher, in their pursuit of.
Yeah, gentlemen, our colleague BKO is watching from the sidelines.
Yeah.
And this is a story that tickles his fancy. BKO, you are there.
Yes, I'm really, really impressed by the feat recorded by these boys. I've never seen anything like this. I've always liked to follow the progress of brilliant people. Sometimes I begin to track them after they've done so well in JAMB. And I've also tracked some of the Lagos State one-day governors.
Okay.
Some of them came up with first class. Some of those who won the spelling bee in Lagos and became one-day governors were actually science students.
Okay.
Some ended up with first class in the science courses, engineering, and the rest of them. So I've always shown an interest in young people doing very well and ending their course of study in flying colors. I've never seen anything close to this where two kids born of the same parents became literally rivals to one another, because from 100 level, they have been doing very well.
Oh, yeah.
3.84 points at 100 level, 3.92 and 3.94 at 200 level, 3.93 and at 300 level, 3.94 and 3.93 at 400 level, and then ending up with 3.94 at 500 level.
Yeah.
Yes. So they also, yes, they also became the best graduating students in the technology faculty.
Yeah.
Not just best students in electrical and electronics and electrical engineering, but they had the best result overall in technology. So I'm really, really impressed, and given what what their mother went through to raise them, having to fall into debt just to give the best to these children, I think the mother deserves tremendous kudos. It's not easy to raise children, especially at this time. Many children fall by the wayside. They get distracted by social media. A lot of them become Yahoo boys, not because they are not brilliant.
Yeah, peer influences.
Yes. Yes. They fall by the wayside due to peer influences. People distract them. But these boys remain focused, and I think that Nigerians need to even study them a lot more, because this is a real fit. This is really surreal. And I believe that the government will show an interest in these boys going forward. Not just their state of origin, but even the federal government. In terms of their doggedness, their focus, I think that they should pay attention to them, because I can see that these guys are geniuses in their own rights.
Yeah.
I remember when one student from Borno State came first in JAMB. And I'm like, in spite of the adversity, somebody from Borno State.
Yeah.
And the government then decided to even give him scholarship, and he ended up at, I think, at Covenant University. So we need to show greater interest in them to see where and how the country can even benefit from them. I'm sure they will be able to come up with inventions if they pursue their dreams further. And I pray that they will not fall by the wayside.
Thank you, BKO. Gentlemen, hope is not lost.
Yes, it shows that Nigeria is not as bad as we think.
As we think,
Our young people, there are a lot of them that are exceptional students.
Yeah.
And I think they should be given scholarships so that they can do more.
In conclusion, the JH family is saying, congratulations, Matthew and Matthias. We thank you.